Well, it's about early afternoon already. Spent most of the morning kind of searching fields, trying to find something dry enough to spray. No luck. So obviously if it's not dry enough to drive a sprayer across it, it's obviously not dry enough to plant. By the way, check this thing out, guys. We finally got it out, unfolded. Beautiful day. Give you guys a quick shot of this with it unfolded. Thing looks even more impressive unfolded. But it is about ready to go. There's just a couple tweaks left on the fertilizer side of things that the Chad, our precision dealer, is still working on. He's supposed to be out later this afternoon for that. We are literally just waiting on ground to dry at this point. But while we wait, we're going to get this thing out. Ooh! Haven't ran it much since we changed the oil. Still looks pretty darn clean. Okay, well, I'm gonna say it has been a couple months since this started. Let's see if she does. Oh, that awful sound. Oh, easy peasy. Let's get out of here. Woo! Let's not put another hole in Dad's camper. Alright, we have a couple tile holes that we've got to fix today. It's kind of a job that nobody likes, but, well, this is the first time we've done any tile holes this year. We've done a pretty good job the past couple of years staying on top of them. I think we've got 3 on a field just right here, and then we've got one monster a couple miles away. Dustin's been grabbing some pieces, and the unfortunate part about these holes is, well, I don't know what's down there, but Dad was thinking that the 3 holes on this farm are probably 10-inch, and the big one a few miles away is on a 12-inch. And that is why you don't make plans or tell you guys what we're going to do for the rest of the day, because as soon as you do that, things are guaranteed to change. Boarding fields, like I said, found a couple fields that are a little drier than the others, and he's like, hey, jump in that sprayer. Let's see if we can get some acres covered. I said, okay. So, that's my game plan now. Kyle and Dustin are going to go back on those tile holes. So the tile holes are still getting taken care of. I don't have to mess with them. And I get to spray some. So, win, win, win. I am going to have to pull into this a little funky, because obviously I have a planter in my way. But I think that should work. Alright, these first couple batches take a while until I get back in the rhythm of things. But I put notes on my phone for that exact reason. But I'm at about 600 gallons. That's all right. I'll be doing several loads, dozens, like that. I'll get in the hang of it and I won't have to check my numbers every time, and we'll make that a little quicker the next round.
All right. Welcome to the Chronicles of Tiling. While Jared is going on spraying, me and Dustin are gonna patch some tile holes. Come hang out, play in the dirt with us. He's already sick of me. Found the culprit. Not supposed to be there. Well, we got her dug out. Didn't hardly break any, except that was already broken. So we got about a 4-foot stretch here. Put a couple internals and a new piece in between them. Get this cleaned up a little bit. And she'll be flowing.
She'll be patched again.
Anyway, that's what it looks like. That's how much water's going through after what, an inch?
There still could be some left over from that big 3-inch ring still.
Yeah, it's running.
So. It's not dry as a bone. If it was dry as a bone, there might be some concern.
Yeah, we're gonna go get those pieces back at the house. Get this bad boy patched up and covered up. Before we head back to the house and grab everything we need, we're gonna go dig out. We got 2 more spots with holes. Not as bad as that one, but we're gonna go check those out, get everything we need at once. And
all right, time to find out whether we made a good decision or we regret this choice to be out here. But things have definitely changed a lot today. I mean, it's starting to gray off on top. Not ready to plant, but at this point I'm pretty confident it'll be just fine to spray. Well, out here in the middle of the field, it's even better. I ended up leaving some decent cleats, nothing terrible, in some of the corners where they're typically a little heavier, but nothing that ever picked up or I've knocked down any mud. You can see my tire in the mirror there. It's still nice and clean. And then coming up to my entrance here, you can see my tracks right there, or, well, maybe you can't, and that's even better. So I'd say that's a pretty good call by Dad. If I'd have known some of these fields I'd have been able to run this nice, and I wasn't out here, I'd have been kicking myself. But, I mean, shoot, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I actually see just a little bit of dust coming off those dry patches back there. Well, I'm officially done with my first tank. Got 100 acres sprayed. And, well, time to go back to the shop, load again, and spray another tank, because as the day goes on, conditions just keep getting better and better. At least the shop's only right there. Takes a little bit more time. But everybody else is busy, and there's really nobody to bring a water trailer to me. So I'll do what I have to do to keep spraying. I'll go be the peasant, and I'll go fill myself. Alright, well, obviously it wasn't that easy, but Second time around was definitely a lot quicker than the first time. These people keep parking all this equipment in on me. Planters over here I gotta miss. A skid steer over here I gotta miss. And now I got equipment coming up behind me I gotta turn for. Man, I don't care how big a barn lot you have. Never seems to be big enough. Back to the field though. Let's do this all again.
Yep. We got 10-inch, 2 internals on 10, 2 on 6, both 4-foot pieces. Yeah, I don't think we need anything else.
Got it. Well, me and Dustin got the 10-inch connected, and I'll show you guys kind of how we do it. I should be able to get the 6-inch by myself. It's a lot more pliable than 10-inch. Let me get you set up so you can watch me in the hole. All right, so first thing we do, it's called an internal. One of those on each side, and down in the hole. Come with me. You guys are gonna get the view. Just be ready. You ever play mud pies as a kid? It's basically that, but instead of wanting to be here, you want to go home. That was a bad spot. That's right where my knee goes. Okay, so first end in. Should slide nice and easy. It won't. Okay, first end in. Now the trick is getting this one. Bingo. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, time for the dirt. For those of you who know me and know the family, you'll know I don't have the best history with tile holes. Leave a comment if you want to hear that story. Let's just say I was in the hospital for a little bit. And there she is. Just like that. There's somebody to fill that hole. Good to go.
Goes Kyle. I wonder if they finished. Loaded the Ranger up, so I would assume so. What'd you guys end up finding? Nope. I guess he's not going to answer me. Do you have your radio on? Well, I would take that as a no. But I'm getting along pretty good. Spraying around the house here. I'm leaving about a 40-foot pass right here that I'm not spraying. That's where we always do our sweet corn. As you can tell, I'm leaving that because I'm spraying bean chemical that does carry over. And the last thing I want to do is ding our sweet corn. Nobody would be very happy if I did that. I'd actually probably get in more trouble dinging our sweet corn than I would just smoking Mom's yard. Well, I just filled up for my third load. Saw, and of course it was after I was done filling, saw that I had a leak back here, thought, oh, one of my hoses need tightened. Saw a puddle on the ground. It's not chemical, it's hydraulic fluid. Something has been making quite the mess. I ended up catching Dustin right before he left so that he could start it up for me while I was back here watching it. And it's actually not either one of these hoses. It is that plug right there in the block. So hopefully I can just screw that out, put a new O-ring in. As long as I've got one that's similar sized, and we'll be good to go. There we go. Just a simple little plug like that, but when the O-ring looks like that, it doesn't seal very well. So let's see what I got in my kit. That looks very close. Looks like it fits well. We're gonna try it. Let's fire it up and see if that fixed the problem. It's staying dry. There's no more oil spraying out of it. Well, that was an easy fix, but made quite the mess. And that's the end of my fourth tank. Darn near sunset, and well, that's a little later than I usually like to spray. They say about an hour before sunset is when you should probably quit. I don't know. They say plants shut down. I don't know. But I obviously sprayed a little later than that tonight, but I wanted to get my last tank empty. That way that spray trailer's empty. I'm out of chemical. It's ready to head to the co-op first thing in the morning, get filled up, and I'm going to be doing this all day tomorrow. I don't know if you guys can see that. I ran out of fully tiled ground around the shop here, so this has a little tile in it, not a ton, but I'm obviously leaving a little more cleats in this field than I was in my fully tiled ground, but not enough to shut me down, I don't think. We'll come in and we'll run the 2660 on the corn stalks like we always do, and you'll never even know those cleats were there. Well, it's still a mess, but it looks like my hydraulic leak is still fixed. But that's where she's gonna sit tonight. A lot of different things went on today between tile holes, spraying, border mapping, and still in the process of finishing this monster up. But no seed in the ground yet. Oh well, it'll happen before we know it. So today's fact actually has to do with alfalfa, which we don't plant any of. If you have an alfalfa field that needs replanted, well, make sure you kill the old stuff, because alfalfa releases a toxin into the ground that actually inhibits new alfalfa seedlings from rooting. So you got to completely kill the old crop if alfalfa needs reseeded. If you ever decide to grow alfalfa, that'll come in handy. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one.